Students, today we will start our history second chapter, New Kings and Kingdoms. Okay, so students, as you already know that many dynasties emerged after 7th century, and you can see this also in a map of your book, and in second chapter, that many dynasties emerged in the 7th centuries, after the 7th centuries. And first of all, I will give you some meaning of the word, that what is the meaning of the dynasty. Dynasty means a family of rulers who rule over a country for a long period of time. This is known as a dynasty. Okay, dynasty like Mughal dynasty and Rajput dynasty. So these are the some dynasties, a family of rulers who rule over a country for a long period of times. And second word you will get in this chapter is kingdoms. Any countries which is ruled by a monarch, a king or queen is considered to be a kingdom. Okay, तो kingdom किसको बोलते हैं? That any country which is ruled by a monarch, a king or queen is considered to be a kingdom. Next one is empire. An empire can be said is a large kingdom. It is traditionally larger than a kingdom and may consist of many different region and nation under its control. So empire, the meaning of empire is different. These three words are feel same, look same, but their meaning is totally different. Okay, dynasty is family of rulers, kingdom is a country which is ruled by a monarch or a king or queen, and an empire can be said is a large kingdom. It is traditionally larger than a kingdom and may consist of many different regions and nations under its control. These regions and nation may be far away from the head of the kingdoms and its capital. For example, the height of its power, the British Empire ruled England, Scotland, Wales, India and West Indies, Australia and North America. So empire is very vast and very large kingdom type of. Okay, so these were some important words. Okay, these should be very clear in your mind, and the concept of dynasty, kingdoms and empire should be very clear in your mind. Okay, these three words are totally different. Okay, so the first topic of this chapter is emergence of new dynasties. ठीक है, तो सबसे पहले हम इसी को पढ़ेंगे, द इमर्जेंस ऑफ न्यू डायनेस्टीज एंड मैनी इन्फ्लुएंशियल पीपल क्लेम देयर अथॉरिटी एंड बिकम kings. Okay, so by the 7th century there were big landlords or warrior chiefs in different region of the subcontinent, and existing kings often acknowledge them as their subordinate or samantas. तो उनको कुछ सामंता, and what is the meaning of samantas? सबसे पहले आपको पता होना चाहिए कि वो जो उनके किंग्स के सबॉर्डिनेट्स होते थे उनको ही हम सामंताज बोलते थे. तो सामंताज एक्चुअली में कौन होते थे? सो स्टूडेंट, सामंताज वर बिग लैंडलॉर्ड और वॉरियर चीफ. ठीक है, they can be a big landlord or warrior chief and subordinate of existing king, accepted to bring gifts to their king, accepted and expected, sorry, वो उनको किंग्स को बड़े बड़े गिफ्ट्स देने होते थे. एक्सपेक्टेड टू गिव बिग गिफ्ट्स टू द किंग and provided military support and attended king's court, gained power and wealth, declared them, और वो खुद को क्या बोलते थे? They declared themselves Mahasamanta and Mahamandala Ishwara. Okay, so Samantas were under the kings. They work under kings and they were a very important, you can say that these are the mantris, yani ki ministers, a type of, and they were expected to bring gifts for their kings or overlord, be presented at their courts and provide them with military support. As Samanta gains power and wealth, they declared themselves to be महासामंता एंड महामंडलेश्वरा. जैसे जैसे वो पावरफुल बनते थे खुद को वो अपने लिए एक नेम देते थे, लाइक महासामंता एंड महामंडेश्वरा, Mandaleshwara, and the great lord of a circle or region. The meaning of Mahamandaleshwara means the great lord of a circle or region, and so on. Sometimes they asserted their independence from their overlords. अच्छा, one such instance was that of the Rashtrakuta is in the Dakkana. एक place का नाम है Rashtrakuta, it is in Dakkana. So initially they were subordinates of the Chalukyas of Karnataka in the mid 8th century, and Danti Durga and and Rashtrakuta chief. Otherwise, this Chalukya's overlord the performed a ritual called Hiranyagarbha, literally the golden womb. When this ritual was performed with the help of Brahmanas, it was thought to lead to the rebirth of the sacrificers as a Kshatriya, even if he was not one by birth. In other cases, men from internship families used their military skills to carve out kingdoms, for instance, and Kadamba Mayurashrama and the Gujarata Pratika. So these were some important parts that the person who helped the kings to rule was the Samanta, and they give themselves some declared themselves as the and new kings and dynasties. What were the new kings and dynasties at that time? तो जिसके बारे में हम इस चैप्टर में पढ़ेंगे भी. First was is Danti Durga. Danti Durga means a Rashtrakuta chief in Dakkan. So Danti Durga was also a dynasty. Second was is Kadamba Mayurashrama मीन्स इन कर्नाटका. एंड गुजरात में कौन से थे? गुजरात में प्रतिहारा हरिश्चंद्रा इन राजस्थान में थे. एंड दंती वट इज दंती दुर्गा. दंती दुर्गा अ सामंता ऑफ चालुक्यास कर्नाटका, अदरवाइज हिज चालुक्यास ओवरलोड, एंड परफॉर्म अ रिचुअल कॉल्ड हिरण्यगर्भा द गोल्डन वॉर्म टू बिकम अ क्षत्रिय. ओके, सो दंती दुर्गा वालों के में आपका मेन है कि इनका एक रिचुअल होता था जिसको बोलते थे हिरण्यगर्भा यानी कि गोल्डन वॉम्ब, एंड बाय दिस दे बिकम अ क्षत्रिय बाय दिस रिचुअल. And next one was Kadamba and Gurjara, means both were Brahmins from internship resourceful families who took to arms and established kingdom. Okay, so there were some important points related to Danti Durga were Danti Durga was a ruler of Kshatriya dynasty, of Rashtrakuta dynasty, and Mayurashrama was a ruler of Kadamba dynasty, and Harichandra was a ruler of Gurjara Pratihara dynasty. So these were some important parts related to this chapter, and you have to know about this, that who were Danti Durga, who were Mayurashrama, and who were Harichandra. Okay, so students, in this map you can see that there are map 1. This shows the major ruling dynasty in different parts of the subcontinent between the 17th and 12th centuries. So first, the fluctuating frontiers in red color, you can see that they were Chamanas, Gurjara, Palas, and which places as Kadamba in pink color. So these were the some important dynasties at that time. Kings gave themselves high sounding titles. So at that time in the 17th century, kings used to give themselves a high sounding title like अपने आप को कुछ अच्छे नेम से वो देते थे, लाइक महाराजा धीराजा एंड त्रिभुवन चक्रवर्ती. दिस महाराजा धीराजा मीनिंग्स ओवरलॉर्ड ऑफ द किंग्स, एंड त्रिभुवन चक्रवर्ती मीन्स लॉर्ड ऑफ 3 वर्ड, तीनों लोगों का देवता, Lord of 3 world. In spite of such high sounding titles, kings shared their power with Samantas and with association of peasants, Brahmins and traders. King collected taxes or part of their produce from producers, that is peasants, cattle keepers and artisans. So kings have to collect taxes for the administration of the kingdom. ठीक है, many of these new kings adopt high sounding titles such as Maharaja Dhiraja, Great King, Overlord of Kings, and Tribhuvana Chakravarti, Lord of 3 world, and so on. However, in spite of such claims, they often shared power with their samantas as well as with association of peasants. Peasants means farmers who were doing farming at that time. Traders and Brahmins के साथ वो अपनी power share करते थे. And in each of these states, resources were obtained from the producers, that is peasants, cattle keepers, artisans, who were often persuaded or compelled to surrender part of what they produced. Sometimes these were claimed as rent due to lord who asserted. अच्छा, टैक्स उन्हें क्यों देना पड़ता था? For 100 taxes. They were the tax collectors by the kings. तो wages war, kings collect taxes किसके लिए करते थे? Finance their establishment and construct massive structures like forts, temples and places. The inscription of Cholas were ruled in Tamil Nadu refer to more than 400 terms for different kinds of taxes. The most frequently mentioned taxes is Veti. Veti taken not in cash but it is from the forced labor. मतलब अगर वेटी टैक्स होता था, किसी से ज़बरदस्ती काम कराया जाता था, that is called forced labor. And Kadami or the revenue, there were also taxes on thatching the house. तो उनसे घर बनवाए जाते थे कादाम्बी टैक्स से. एंड द यूज ऑफ लैडर टू क्लाइम पाम ट्री, एक्सेस ऑन एंड सक्सेशन टू फैमिली प्रॉपर्टी एक्सेट्रा. So there are some different kinds of taxes which were at that time, and these resources were used to finance the king's establishment as well as for the construction of temple and forts. They were also used to fight wars, which were in turn expected to lead to the acquisitions of wealth in the form of plunder and access to land as well as traders' routes. So the functionaries for collecting revenue were generally recruited from influential families and positions were often hereditary. This was true about the army as well. In many cases, those relative of the kings held this position. Okay, so next topic is Prashasti. Prashasti is also one important part of this book, or this chapter also. Prashasti. What is Prashasti? Prashasti basically is a Sanskrit poem written by Brahmins in praise of king, जिसमें वो किंग्स की तारीफ में प्रशस्तिज लिखते थे और इनको ब्राह्मण्स बनाते थे. ओके, प्रशस्ति कंटेन्स डिटेल दैट मे नॉट बी लिटरली ट्रू, but they tell us how rulers wanted to depict themselves as valiant victorious warrior. For example, these were composed by learned Brahmins who occasionally help in the administration. Okay, and they contain detail which may be necessarily be literally true. They tell us the way the rulers wanted to depict themselves, for example, as great achievers, victorious, fearless and valiant etc. मतलब जो प्रशस्तिज ब्राह्मण्स लिखते थे वो उन्हें किंग्स उन्हें कहते थे, और जिसमें उन्हें किंग्स की बहुत ज़्यादा तारीफ लिखनी होती थी पोएम्स में. कल्हना कंपोज्ड हिज प्रशस्ति. कल्हना ने अपने प्रशस्ति कंपोज करवाई थी ब्राह्मणान से फॉर हिस्ट्री ऑफ द किंग हु रूल्ड ओवर कश्मीर, एंड ही वॉज ऑफन क्रिटिकल अबाउट द रूलर्स and their policies, unlike the Prasastis which always praise them. So land grants. King often reward Brahmins by grant of land. अगर वो अच्छी प्रशस्तिज लिखते थे या अच्छा काम करते थे तो किंग्स उनको लैंड देते थे. एंड दे वर रिकॉर्डेड ऑन कॉपर प्लेट. जैसे आजकल तो हम लोग रजिस्ट्री करवाते हैं ना, लैंड्स की रजिस्ट्री होती है, उस टाइम उनको कॉपर प्लेट्स में रजिस्ट्री करा के देते थे क्योंकि पेपर की इतनी ज़्यादा नहीं थी, तो कॉपर की प्लेट्स में रजिस्ट्री होती थी. एंड विच वर गिवन टू द पीपल दैट रिसीव लैंड. आई विल शो यू अ फिगर ऑफ कॉपर प्लेट ऑल्सो. This figure is also in your book in page number 19, a copper plate figure. Okay students, and many rulers describe their achievement in prasastis. You read about the prasastis in the Gupta rulers. तो एक प्रशस्ति मैं आपको सुनाती हूँ that वो कैसे लिखते थे. The king of Andhra, Sindhava, Sindh and Vidarbha part of Maharashtra and Kalinga part of Odisha fell before him even as he was a prince. He won a victory over Chakrayuddha, the rule of Kannauj. He defeated the king of Wang, part of Bengal, Anarta, part of Gujarat, Malava, part of Madhya Pradesh, and Kirata, forest people, and Turkish Turk, Avastra, and Matsya, both kingdom in most North India. So you can see that they were writing all the victories of the king in the Prashasti Patra. Okay students, I hope Prashasti Patra is clear to you. And our next topic is warfare for wealth. And every including dynasty tried to control other areas for wealth by means of war. War के लिए उन्हें पैसे चाहिए थे. So सबसे पहले आप ये फिगर देख लीजिए. डायनेस्टीज विच फॉट वॉर कंट्रोल ओवर कन्नौज. कन्नौज को कंट्रोल करने के लिए किस किस की वॉर हुई थी? गुज्जरा, प्रतिहारा, पाला एंड राष्ट्रकूटा. Since three parties were involved, this struggle for Kannauj was called three parties struggle. Okay, तो इस कन्नौज को जीतने के लिए स्ट्रगल किया गया था. ओके, सो अब हम पढ़ेंगे सुल्तान मोहम्मद ऑफ गजनी, अफ़गानिस्तान से जो आया था. इन्होंने रूल किया था फ्रॉम 1997 टू 1030 तक. ओके, and targeted wealthy temples, example सोमनाथ इन गुजरात. इन्होंने कुछ वेल्थी टेम्पल को टारगेट किया था इसने, सुल्तान मोहम्मद ऑफ गजनी ने, और सोमनाथ के टेम्पल को टारगेटेड वेल्थी टेम्पल ऑफ सोमनाथ इन गुजरात, हायर्ड अ स्कॉलर अल बिरूनी टू राइट एन अकाउंट ऑफ सब कॉन्टिनेंट। अल बिरूनी को भेजा था यहाँ पे ताकि वो इस सब कॉन्टिनेंट पे एक बुक लिख सके। एंड अल बिरूनी रोट किताब अल हिंद। आपको ये कुछ नेम्स याद रखने हैं। अल बिरूनी ने कौन सी किताब लिखी थी? किताब अल हिंद। एंड हु सेंडेड अल बिरूनी टू इंडिया? दैट इज मोहम्मद ऑफ गजनी। मोहम्मद ऑफ गजनी बेसिकली ही केम इंडिया, ये यहाँ पे रूल करने के लिए नहीं आता, बट ही रूल अगेन, बट ही केम टू इंडिया। ही टारगेट सोमनाथ टेम्पल बिकॉज एट दैट टाइम टेम्पल वर वेरी वेल्दी एंड वेरी रिच एट दैट टाइम, सो ही वॉन्ट टू स्टील ऑल द gold and all the things from the temple. Okay, next important king at that time was Chauhan or Chumnas, that ruled over Delhi and Ajmer, opposed by Chalukya or Gujarat and the Gadwalas of the western Uttar Pradesh, while attempting to expect control to the west of east. Okay, and the best known Chauhan ruler were पृथ्वीराज। ओके, चौहान रूलर्स में सबसे फेमस है हमारे पृथ्वीराज थर्ड। 1168 से 1192 तक पृथ्वीराज थर्ड डिफीटेड एन अफगान रूलर सुल्तान मोहम्मद गौरी इन 1191 एंड पृथ्वीराज लॉस्ट टू हिम द नेक्स्ट ईयर। टॉपिक 5 है अ क्लोजर लुक एट चोलास डायनेस्टी टेम्पल एंड स्कल्पचर एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन। राइज ऑफ चोलास टू पावर। चोलास की पावर कहाँ से कहाँ तक थी? चीफली फैमिलीज इन साउथ सबॉर्डिनेट्स टू पल्लवास। ओके, तो मुत्रियार्स एंड चोलास। सो सबसे पहले आपके हैं मुत्रियार्स मीन्स हेल्ड पावर इन रीजन अराउंड कावेरी डेल्टास एंड हेल्ड पावर इन उरियार। सो विजयला a Chola chief captured the Kaveri Delta from Mutriyar in the middle of 19th century. You can see in this map also. You have to fill this map in your notebook also. He built the town to Tanjore. He also built a temple of goddess temple of goddess Nishumbani there. Okay. Story of Chola dynasty. So Chola dynasty was one of important dynasty in Indian subcontinent. So Chola kingdoms grew in size and power with the conquest of neighbors areas by the successor of Vijayalaya. The Pandyans and Pallavas territory to the south and north become part of Chola kingdoms. So they very rapidly they were making the subcontinent under their kingdoms, and Raja I, he was considered the most powerful Chola ruler. He became king in 1985 and expanded control over most of the areas mentioned above. He recognized the administration of the empire. His son Rajendra I continued his policies and even raided the Ganga Valley, Sri Lanka and countries of Southeast Asia, developing a navy for these expeditions. So splendid temples of Chola Empire. Raja and Rajendra built splendid temples at Tanjore and Gangakonda Cholapuram. तो वो लोग ब्रास की जो उनकी स्टैच्यूज वो बहुत ही फेमस थे, एंड देयर वर वेरियस इकोनॉमिकल, सोशल एंड कल्चरल एक्टिविटीज एसोसिएटेड विद द चोला टेम्पल. द टेम्पल बिकम द न्यूली ऑफ द सेटलमेंट. दे ग्रू अराउंड देम and these were central of the craft production like bronze images. Bronze images were very popular in Chola's dynasty, and temple received huge land endowments from rulers. The produce of these lands went into maintaining all the specialists who worked at and lived near the temple, priests, greenland markers, cooks, sweepers, musicians, etc. These were some important Chola dynasty, Chola territory and Chola influence. In blue color you can see that over the India and Chola territory, and in pink color Chola influence. Chola temples are very famous all over the world, and their bronze statue and bronze image is still very famous in all over the world. Okay, first figure you can see Bridhaveshwara temple in Tanjore and Gangikonda Cholapuram temple. How did the Chola rulers improve agriculture? So their agricultural work was very impressive. So clearing forest land to bring more land under cultivation. इन लोग well बनाते थे, canals बनाते थे, and embankment irrigation work were developed. Wells were dug, canals were built, tank were constructed to collect rainwater. Built embankments to prevent flooding, and Kaveri rivers provide water for irrigation and fertile सॉइल. कावेरी रिवर जो है इनको सबसे ज़्यादा कावेरी रिवर का रोल था. कावेरी रिवर प्रोवाइड वाटर फॉर इरिगेशन एंड फर्टाइल सॉइल. यू हैव टू फिल दिस मैप इन योर नोटबुक ऑल्सो. यू कैन टेक स्क्रीनशॉट. Gangakonda, Cholapuram and Tanuj, you can see these places are highlighted in this areas. And Kaveri rivers sluice gate 18th century. Their sluice gate image shown in NCERT book, you can see also. Okay, there are some also very important topic. UR means settlement of peasants, means UR. NADU, group of village with settlement of peasants were called Nadu. Nadu means UR1, UR2 and UR3. Vellala कौन है? Vellala, a caste of rich peasant. And ब्रह्मदेया, लैंड गिफ्टेड टू ब्राह्मण्स बाय किंग्स. तो उसको हम बोलते, उसको बोला जाता था उस टाइम ब्रह्मदेया. एंड दीज आर सम ब्रॉन्ज फिगर. यू कैन सी दैट दीज प्लेट्स, these are a kind of registry of these lands which are given to Brahmins by the kings. Okay, so Chola administration. The Chola state was a centralized and very bureaucratized monarchy and maintained a large royal standing army which were required and controlled by the Chola rulers directly. It was administrated in following ways: local level Brahmins village assembly Sabha and non-Brahminical assembly Nadu or local peasant assembly performed many administration functions. Rich peasants of valley caste exercised considerable control over affair of Nadu under the supervision of controller. Chola government association of traders known as Nagaram occasionally performed administrative function in town. And Sabha looked after Brahmadeva. Sabha had repeated committees and looked after irrigation work, temple, and these were some work divided in the Chola dynasty. So there are some important terminology. Means Sultan होता था Arabic term meaning ruler. Title given by Chola king to rich landlords were Movendavelan. It means Velan or peasant serving three kings. Arrear, it means chief. And Triptri, struggle involving three parties. And Nagaram, associated to traders. UR, settlement of peasants. And Sabha, assembly of Brahmins, landlords.